Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy. In the dark antique store, an old lantern shined as if it had its own life. Grant, curious, reached for it. His fingers touched the lantern and it began to fall. Quick as a flash, he caught it. The metal felt cold in his hands. The old store owner saw this happen and quickly walked over. He looked at the lantern with concern. That lamp has been there for as long as I remember. Be careful with it. Grant's voice shook a little. It's been scratched up since I got it. Grant looked at the lamp, running his fingers over its surface. It felt right, like a missing piece of a puzzle. After paying, he took the lamp and went back to his studio apartment. The apartment reflected its occupant's simple life. Minimal furniture, a few plants struggling for survival on the windowsill, and stacks of books covering every available surface. Grant set the lamp on the kitchen counter and grabbed a bottle of brass polish from under the sink. As the cloth worked across the metal, warmth spread through his palms. The tarnish fell away in sheets, revealing intricate engravings beneath. Smoke began to curl from the spout, thickening into a column that reached the ceiling. Finally, a woman materialized from the smoke, stretching her arms above her head. She wore flowing purple robes that seemed to shift between solid and ethereal. Do you have any idea how cramped it gets in there? Grant dropped the polishing cloth and stumbled backward. What the hell? Names Zara, Genie, Wish Granter, etc. She floated cross-legged in the air, examining her nails. You freed me, so you get the standard package. 3 wishes, terms and conditions apply. This has to be a hallucination. Maybe something in the brass polish? Oh, good, a skeptic. Those are always fun. Zara snapped her fingers, and Grant's coffee mug transformed into a tropical fish, swimming circles in the air before changing back. Convinced yet? Grant sank onto the couch, mind racing. Assuming this is real, what exactly can you do? Transform reality, alter circumstances, change perspectives. The usual. Though I should warn you, wishes have a way of teaching lessons you didn't expect to learn. What kind of lessons? Zara's smile held secrets. The kind that show you who you really are. Grant stood and paced the small living room. A lifetime of feeling out of place, of not quite fitting into the mold society expected, weighed on his shoulders. Could you change someone? Make them different? Physical changes, mental changes, social changes, all possible. But remember, every transformation comes with consequences. I wish... Grant paused, heart hammering. I wish to become the person I'm meant to be. The real me. Zara's expression softened. Now that's a wish worth granting. Close your eyes. Warmth flooded through Grant's body, starting at the crown of his head and flowing downward like honey. Bones shifted with a sound like wind chimes, muscles restructured themselves, and skin tingled as if touched by starlight. Hair sprouted from his scalp, growing past his shoulders in waves of rich auburn that caught the light like burnished copper. When the sensation faded, Grant opened his eyes. The apartment looked the same, but everything felt different. She moved to the bathroom mirror with trembling steps. The reflection showed a woman with delicate features, high cheekbones, and those striking auburn waves framing her face. Her body had reformed completely. Softer curves, narrower shoulders, wider hips. Even her gray t-shirt and jeans fit differently now. How do you feel? Zara floated beside her, watching the reaction carefully. Like I can finally breathe. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Like I've been holding my breath my entire life, and just now remembered how to exhale. You'll need a new name. Grant doesn't quite fit anymore. She wiped her eyes, studying her reflection. Celeste. I've always loved that name. Celeste it is. Now, about those other wishes. Can this be permanent? I don't want to change back. Zara nodded. Already done. This is who you are now, who you've always been inside. The magic just brought it to the surface. Over the following days, Celeste navigated her new reality. The legal documents changed themselves. Driver's license, social security card, even old photographs shifted to show her as she was now. Coworkers at the marketing firm remembered her as Celeste, as if Grant had never existed. She experimented with clothes, finding joy in options previously denied. A blue sundress that swished around her knees, a pencil skirt in deep green that hugged her hips, blouses in cream and rose that complemented her auburn hair. Each outfit felt like claiming a piece of herself. "You're glowing," her colleague Maria commented over lunch. "Did something change? New skincare routine?" "Something like that." Celeste smiled, spearing a piece of salad. The afternoon brought the first test of her new life. Walking back from lunch, a group of men loitered outside a construction site. Their eyes tracked her movement, and one whistled sharply. "Hey, beautiful, why don't you slow down?" She kept walking, jaw clenched. "Come on, just a smile," another called out. "That skirt's looking real nice." One of them moved closer, and she could smell cigarettes and cheap cologne. "Don't be stuck up, we're just being friendly." "Back off." Her voice came out steady, despite the anger boiling inside. "Ooh, feisty, I like that." He reached toward her skirt. She spun away and power-walked the remaining block to her office building, hands shaking as she badged in. Safe in the elevator, she slumped against the wall. That evening, she summoned Zara again by rubbing the lamp. "Rough day." The genie appeared in a puff of lavender smoke. "Those men, they tried to..." Celeste paced her living room, still wearing her green skirt and white blouse from work. "They acted like I was public property, like wearing a skirt gave them permission to harass me. Unfortunately common. Humans haven't quite figured out respect yet. I want to use my second wish." Celeste's auburn hair swung as she turned. "I wish all men knew what it was like to wear skirts and dresses. Maybe then they'd understand." Zara raised an eyebrow. "Interesting choice. Are you sure?" "Yes, let them see how it feels." "Your wish is granted." Zara waved her hand with a flourish, though perhaps not in the way you expect. The next morning, Celeste arrived at work to find a transformed office. Every man in the building wore a skirt. Her boss, Mr. Patterson, strode past in a sharp navy kilt paired with his usual blazer. The IT guys wore flowing maxi skirts that swished as they walked. Even the security guard at the front desk sported a khaki cargo skirt with multiple pockets. But something was wrong. None of them looked embarrassed or uncomfortable. They moved with the same confidence as always, discussing quarterly reports and weekend plans as if nothing had changed. "Morning, Celeste," her coworker Ryan waved, his plaid skirt perfectly pressed. "Love your outfit today." She glanced down at her red dress, then back at him. "Thanks, nice skirt, right? So much better than pants in this heat. Don't know why I didn't try this sooner." Throughout the day, she observed the men navigating their skirted existence with ease. They sat with practiced movements, crossed their legs naturally, and even seemed to enjoy the freedom of movement. During a meeting, she watched Mr. Patterson adjust his kilt without a trace of self-consciousness. At lunch, she found Maria in the break room. "Is it just me, or is everyone acting like this is normal?" Maria shrugged. "Why wouldn't it be? Men have worn skirts for centuries. Kilts in Scotland, sarongs in Southeast Asia, tunics in ancient Rome. Pants are actually the historical anomaly." "But," Celeste frowned, "yesterday they all wore pants." "Did they?" Maria looked puzzled. "I remember David from accounting showing off his new leather skirt last week. Said it matched his motorcycle boots perfectly." Reality had shifted, but not in the way Celeste intended. The men weren't learning empathy through discomfort. They were simply comfortable. Her wish had backfired spectacularly. That evening, she summoned Zara again. The genie appeared lounging on a cloud of silver smoke. "Let me guess, not quite the lesson you hoped to teach?" Celeste slumped on her couch, still in her red dress. "They're all fine with it, happy even. This didn't change anything about their behavior. Clothing doesn't determine character. A jerk in pants is still a jerk in a skirt." Zara examined her nails. "Perhaps the lesson here isn't for them." "What do you mean?" "You wished from a place of anger, wanting others to suffer as you had, but suffering doesn't create understanding. It just creates more suffering." Celeste pulled her knees to her chest. "So what do I do? Those men who harassed me are probably out there in their skirts, still catcalling women. You have one wish left. Choose wisely. Over the next few days, Celeste observed the world through new eyes. She noticed how some men in skirts still made crude comments, while others had always been respectful regardless of their clothing. She saw women supporting each other and men calling out bad behavior in their friends. The problem wasn't what people wore, it was how they treated each other. During a coffee run, she noticed someone new in the lobby. Tall and lean, with graceful movements and kind eyes, wearing a flowing burgundy skirt with a crisp white shirt. He held the door for an elderly woman struggling with packages. "Let me help you with those." His voice was warm as he carried the packages to her car. When he returned, Celeste was waiting. "That was nice of you." "She reminded me of my grandmother." He smiled, and tiny crinkles appeared at the corners of his eyes. "I'm Marcus, just started in the design department." "Celeste, marketing." They fell into easy conversation. Marcus was thoughtful and funny, asking questions about her work and actually listening to the answers. His burgundy skirt swayed as he gestured while talking about his latest project. "Would you maybe want to grab lunch tomorrow?" He looked hopeful. "I'd like that." Their lunch turned into many lunches. Marcus was unlike anyone she'd met, confident in his choices, respectful without being asked, genuinely interested in her thoughts and dreams. He wore skirts most days, mixing patterns and styles with an artist's eye. "Why skirts?" she asked one afternoon as they shared Thai food in the park. She wore her favorite blue sundress, and he had on a geometric print that somehow worked with his purple button-down. "They're comfortable, they look good on me, and honestly," he grinned, "my legs are fantastic. Why hide them?" She laughed, realizing he was right. He did have great legs. As weeks passed, their friendship deepened into something more. Marcus was there when she had bad days, bringing her favorite coffee and ridiculous jokes. He celebrated her promotion with genuine excitement. When street harassers bothered her, he didn't try to fight them. He simply stood beside her, a quiet support that meant everything. One evening, as they watched the sunset from her apartment, Celeste made a decision. She rubbed the lamp, and Zara appeared in a shower of golden sparks. "Final wish?" The genie looked between them with interest. Marcus, to his credit, only spilled a little wine on his forest green maxi skirt. "Is that a genie?" "Long story." Celeste took his hand. "I've been thinking about my last wish. I don't want to force anyone to change or suffer. I just want people to be free to be themselves." "Go on." Zara leaned forward. "I wish for everyone to have the freedom to wear whatever makes them happy and comfortable, without fear of judgment or harassment. Let clothing be about personal expression, not societal rules." Zara smiled, the first truly warm expression Celeste had seen from her. "Now that's a wish worth granting." The change was subtle but profound. Over the following months, the world shifted. Men who wanted to wear pants did so, while others embraced skirts and dresses. Women wore whatever felt right, suits, gowns, or anything in between. The harassment didn't disappear overnight, but it lessened as society adjusted to the new normal where clothing held no gender. Celeste watched the transformation from her desk, now decorated with photos of her and Marcus from their adventures. Her auburn hair was pulled back in a loose bun, and she wore emerald green slacks with a silk blouse. Because today, pants felt right. "Ready for lunch?" Marcus appeared in her doorway, looking sharp in tailored black trousers and a burgundy blazer. "Almost." She saved her work and grabbed her purse. "Where to today?" "That new Mediterranean place? I heard their hummus is incredible." As they walked through the city streets, Celeste noticed the variety around them. A businessman in a flowing skirt talking on his phone, a woman in a three-piece suit hailing a taxi, a couple where both wore sundresses, holding hands and laughing, everyone expressing themselves freely. "Penny for your thoughts?" Marcus slipped his hand into hers. "Just thinking about how much has changed. All for the better, I'd say." He squeezed her hand. "Though I do miss showing off my legs sometimes. Maybe I'll wear that burgundy skirt tomorrow." "The one from when we met? I love that one on you." "Only because it makes my legs look amazing." He winked. They do look better than mine, she admitted with mock annoyance. Impossible, though we could compare later if you want. His grin was mischievous. She laughed, pulling him closer. Smooth talker? The restaurant bustled with lunch crowds, and they found a corner table by the window. As they shared plates of hummus and falafel, Celeste reflected on her journey. The wishes hadn't gone as planned, but perhaps that was the point. Real change came not from forcing others to suffer, but from creating space for everyone to be themselves. "What are you smiling about?" Marcus asked, offering her the last piece of pita. "Just life. How unexpected it can be." The best kind of unexpected? Definitely. After lunch, they walked through the park, enjoying the spring weather. A group of kids played frisbee, their various outfits a rainbow of personal choice. No one stared or commented. It was simply normal now. "I should tell you something," Marcus said as they found a bench. "About your wishes." Celeste froze. "What do you mean?" "I know about the genie, about all of it." He turned to face her, expression serious. "Zara told me everything last week." "She what?" Celeste's voice rose. "Why would she do that?" "Because I asked. I could feel the magic around you, around everyone. I needed to understand." "And you're okay with it? With me using wishes to change the world?" Marcus took her hands, his touch gentle. "You changed the world for the better. You gave everyone freedom to be themselves. How could I not be okay with that? But I changed reality, made decisions for billions of people without asking. You gave them choices, not mandates. That's completely different." He smiled. "Plus, you gave me the confidence to wear what makes me happy. I'm grateful for that." Celeste felt tears prick her eyes. "I was so angry at first. I wanted revenge on those men who harassed me. But you chose understanding instead. That takes strength." They sat in comfortable silence, watching the world go by. A businessman walked past in a pink tulle skirt and combat boots, typing furiously on his phone. A jogger in tiny shorts and a sports bra stretched by the fountain, her muscles rippling. Everyone living their truth. "Want to know a secret?" Marcus leaned closer. "I've been thinking about growing my hair out. Maybe to my shoulders, like yours, but shorter. That would look amazing on you." Celeste ran her fingers through her own auburn waves. "Though nothing will ever be as fabulous as this color." "True, that auburn is perfect on you, like you were born with it." If only he knew, she thought, but kept smiling. Some secrets were worth keeping. As the months turned to years, their relationship deepened. They moved in together, finding a larger apartment with room for both their wardrobes. Marcus did grow his hair out, styling it in ways that complemented whatever outfit he chose that day. Celeste experimented with every type of clothing imaginable, finally free to explore without constraints. The lamp sat on their mantel, polished and gleaming. Sometimes Zara would appear unbidden, sharing tea and gossip about the magical realm. She became an unexpected friend, a reminder of the journey that brought them together. "Any regrets?" Zara asked one evening, materializing while they cooked dinner. She wore modern clothes now, ripped jeans and a band t-shirt that somehow looked elegant on her ethereal form. "None." Celeste stirred the pasta sauce, her yellow dress protected by a floral apron. "Every step led me here." "Even the harassment? The anger?" "Especially that. It taught me that change comes from understanding, not revenge." Marcus entered from the bedroom, wearing soft gray joggers and one of Celeste's oversized sweaters. "Zara, perfect timing. Stay for dinner." "Genies don't eat, darling." "Your loss. Celeste makes the best carbonara in the city." As they sat around the table, Celeste marveled at the life she'd built. The girl who'd been Grant, angry and trapped, had become someone who chose love over vengeance, understanding over punishment. The auburn-haired woman in the mirror was who she'd always been inside. The wishes had just revealed the truth. To unexpected journeys, Marcus raised his wine glass. To finding ourselves, Celeste added. To humans finally getting their act together, Zara chimed in, raising an imaginary glass. They laughed, and the sound filled their home with warmth. Outside, the city hummed with life, people of all kinds wearing whatever brought them joy, expressing themselves freely in a world that had learned to embrace rather than judge. The harassment hadn't disappeared entirely. There would always be those who chose cruelty, but now they were the outcasts, the ones society corrected rather than enabled. The men who'd bothered Celeste that first day might still exist somewhere, but their voices had been drowned out by a chorus of acceptance. Late that night, as Marcus slept beside her, Celeste stood at the window watching the city lights. Her reflection caught in the glass, auburn hair tumbling over the shoulders of Marcus's borrowed t-shirt, legs bare beneath the hem. She looked happy. She looked like herself. A shimmer in the air announced Zara's presence. Satisfied with your wishes? More than I ever imagined possible. You know, most people waste their wishes on money or power. You chose transformation, understanding, and freedom. I chose to become myself and help others do the same. Zara smiled, that mysterious expression from their first meeting. The magic was never in the lamp, Celeste. It was in having the courage to wish for what really mattered. Will you stay in our world? For a while. It's interesting here now. Plus, someone needs to keep an eye on you two. Celeste laughed softly. We're pretty boring. Work, dinner, occasional dancing when Marcus wears that burgundy skirt that started everything. Love is never boring. It's the most powerful magic there is. With that pronouncement, Zara faded away, leaving only the scent of jasmine and possibility. Celeste returned to bed, curling against Marcus's warmth. He stirred, pulling her closer without waking. Tomorrow would bring new challenges and joys. She'd wear her new coral dress to the presentation, the one that made her feel invincible. Marcus would probably choose his navy skirt suit, the one that made board members take him seriously while showcasing those enviable legs. But tonight, she simply existed in the quiet happiness of being herself, fully and completely. The journey from Grant to Celeste had been more than physical transformation. It had been a lesson in empathy, in choosing love over anger, in recognizing that true change came from within. The lamp gleamed on the mantel, its work complete. 3 wishes spent, a life transformed, a world made better. Not through force or suffering, but through the simple act of letting everyone be free. As sleep claimed her, Celeste smiled. Tomorrow, she'd face whatever came with confidence, surrounded by love and dressed however felt right. The auburn-haired woman in the yellow dress, the green skirt, the coral dress, or whatever else she chose, always herself, always free, always exactly who she was meant to be. The city slept on, dreams full of possibility, and somewhere in the night, a genie smiled and prepared for whatever wishes tomorrow might bring. But none would ever be quite like Celeste's, the wishes that changed everything by simply letting everyone be themselves. Marcus shifted in his sleep, his arm tightening around her waist. Even unconscious, he anchored her to this new reality, the reality where she was Celeste, where anyone could wear anything, where love conquered fear and understanding defeated ignorance. The man who'd become a woman who'd changed the world, not through magic alone, but through the choices made after the transformation. Each day deciding to be kind, to be brave, to be authentically herself regardless of others' opinions. Her auburn hair spread across the pillow like copper fire, the same shade it had been since that first transformation. Constance in a world of change, her hair, her truth, her love for the man beside her who saw her completely and chose to stay. The story could end here, in this moment of quiet contentment. But life, unlike wishes, continued on. There would be promotions and setbacks, arguments and reconciliations, moments of doubt and triumph. Celeste would sometimes miss the simplicity of being Grant, the invisibility of fitting society's expectations, but she'd never trade this life, this truth, this freedom to be herself. The lamp waited on the mantel, ready for the next seeker. But its greatest work was complete, showing one person that transformation was possible, that anger could become understanding, that wishes spent on others' freedom were never wasted. And in a bedroom in the city, 2 people slept entwined, equal in their choices, free in their expression, bound by nothing but love. The world had changed around them, but more importantly, they had changed themselves. Celeste's last thought before dreams claimed her was simple gratitude. For the lamp, for Zara, for the journey that brought her here, but mostly for the courage to wish not for what she thought she wanted, but for what the world truly needed: freedom, understanding, the right to be yourself. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.